mean, clearly what happened after the DNC's firewall failed, some young staffers looked at some data, clearly wrong, and we have fired one of them, and we are likely to discipline others, right? We're involved in an investigation, and people are involved, they'll be disciplined. There's no doubt about it, right? That's the high standard we have in this campaign. That's how we run this campaign. On the other hand, we don't have any Clinton data that we're aware of. We're investigating. If we were to have any, we would quarantine it and either give it back to them or destroy it as instructed. We're not going to use any of their modeling data. We have no interest in it, right? I mean, we have one of the best modelers in the country, frankly. And why we would substitute his fine work for another candidate's work doesn't make any sense. But even in the abstract, we would not use another candidate's data. No interest in it. Look, we have the formula for the winning campaign, which is the best message in the campaign, delivered by the most authentic messenger in the campaign, talking about the issues that are most important to Americans at this point in history. That's something that can be replicated in a database.
But what did you make of what the Clinton campaign said yesterday? I mean, they took a pretty harsh tone with your campaign.
Well, look, I think what people have seen is tremendous outpouring of support for this campaign after the DNC issued its death sentence on it by cutting us off from our own databases and data. Over 550,000 people signed petitions demanding that the DNC give that data back. We saw, I've received calls from national committee people in different parts of the country. A superdelegate in Nevada joined our campaign as a result of that action. There was a national committee chairwoman in Maryland who publicly posted on her Facebook that if our data wasn't restored, she would resign and protest. So, there really was, and I know a bunch of Democratic officers met with the chairwoman to try to get this resolved, right, without any success. So, I think what people saw was a tremendous groundswell of support for Senator Sanders' campaign in the face of this very heavy-handed and unfair overreaction by the chairwoman and maybe a few others over there. But I have to tell you, and the response was rank and file people, grassroots people, and some members of what you would call the Democratic Party establishment who also felt that this was an injustice. And so I think maybe they felt it incumbent upon themselves to intervene to sort of quell some of that groundswell.
The Clinton campaign.
That's not to understate that these young people clearly did something wrong, right? No doubt about it.
The Clinton campaign specifically went after that email the campaign sent out to its supporters yesterday, the Tip Scales email. So you're fundraising off of your own theft of information. What did you make of that?
Well, look, I mean, politics is politics. I mean, clearly what we did, we wanted to alert our people of what was going on. We asked people, it was primarily designed to ask people to sign our petition to get our data back, to demonstrate the grassroots support this campaign had. I mean, we got almost 220,000 signatures. I know Move On was also sending out, had a petition going, as did the Democracy for America. I mean, so combined we had over 550,000 signatures. So that's a pretty overwhelming grassroots outpouring in just a very short period of time. So, I understand why people would not be happy with that if you were on the receiving end of it. But
I noticed you're not engaging on the Clinton questions. Yesterday, things got tremendously heated between the two campaigns. Are you trying to bring things back down a little bit, to tone it down?
Look, all we ever wanted was our data back, right? I mean, I think what you've seen on the part of some people, I think if you look at the debate schedule, it's been widely discussed. Very few debates. Just from tonight is scheduled the Saturday before Christmas. If I wasn't here, I'd be out Christmas shopping, as moving along with millions and millions of other Americans.
You'd be seeing Star Wars, really.
Or if
you'd be doing.
Come on,
let's be real.
All right, maybe I'd be seeing Star Wars.
Do you think that Representative Wasserman Schultz should resign as chair of the DNC?
I'm not going to go that far. That's for the DNC officers and others to decide.
Well, why not? I mean, you've been very critical of what she's done and what her committee's done over the last few months. I mean, do you have confidence in the job she's doing?
Let me just say this: when Senator Sanders secures the nomination, I think there'll be some leadership changes.
Is that right? Who's he going to install as chair of the DNC? Is he going to abolish the DNC?
Maybe it's you, Paul.
Yeah, all right.
Does this kerfuffle play into your role as the outsider?
Well, I mean, I think what it demonstrates is that, there are establishment forces out there who are very, very concerned about the success of this campaign. And, I think they use the pretext of, what was admittedly wrong behavior by some young people, coupled with the failure of the DNC to be able to secure the candidate's data as a pretext to, paralyze our campaign for 48 hours. And if we hadn't gone to federal court, I'm fairly confident that it would still be paralyzed.
How's this going to impact the debate tonight?
Look, Bernie Sanders is and always has been a substantive candidate. I think he's going to want to talk about substantive issues. Obviously, if this issue is raised, I think he'll talk about it. But really, I mean, what he wants to talk about is the issues facing the American public.